So this is the first part of the projectile motion experiment. In a previous video, I show you how to collect all the data to get the range of the projectile. So when the projectile leaves the gun at some instant and or some height and it lands at exactly the same height, that ends up being the range. That horizontal distance is the range. So in this video, what I want to do is show you how we collected the data for the first part, where we tried to estimate the launch velocity of the ball, so the velocity that the marble leaves the gun at when it's launched horizontally. And the setup is as follows. We have a photo gate right at the end of the barrel of the gun, right? So as soon as the ball leaves, it's going to trigger, it's going to start this photo gate, or start the timer. And then we have a landing platform here, and when the ball hits the landing platform, it'll stop the timer. So basically what we're getting for information is the time of flight of the ball, so the time that the ball is in the air. The other thing that we're going to collect for data is, you notice here I have a piece of carbon paper on top of a piece of white paper. So when we launch the ball and it hits, it'll leave a mark on the white paper, and then I can measure the horizontal distance from that mark to the edge of the gun. So basically that horizontal distance, okay? If I know the horizontal distance and I know the time of flight, and I can either get the time of flight directly from the timer here, or I can get it from kinematics if I know the height of the gun. So I also measured the height of the gun relative to the top of the platform. So I can either use kinematics or I can get the time of flight directly from the timer. So again, if I know the horizontal displacement and I know the time of flight, if I take the ratio of those two, that's going to give me the velocity. And we know that the velocity of a projectile is constant in the x direction, right, as long as we ignore air resistance. So therefore, I'm getting the launch velocity of the gun. Okay, so that's the basic idea, and I will give you guys all the data for that part.